Hello again, everybody! Zach Attack is here with my WWE Money in the Bank review for the night, Sunday, July 14th, 2013. Of course, live from the arena, whatever, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My thoughts on tonight's pay-per-view? Wow, a lot happened tonight. The two Money in the Bank matches tonight were excellent. Both, I can't say one was better than the other, should say, but both matches had their moments. Both matches had excitement and intensity. I think the WWE Championship might have been a tight better. Yes, it was as many high-flying spots as they were in the World Heavyweight Championship. There was as much intensity and excitement, and a lot of relationships, partnerships got. I bet you a lot of partnerships and friendships got ended tonight. A lot of friends screwing friends, lovers inadvertently screwing lovers, and the ultimate screw job at the end of the evening. So, and the undercard, the other matches were okay matches. You know, I've seen undercard matches on Money in the Bank become good. Like John Cena and CM Punk 2 years ago was excellent. And none of those matches lived up to the hype of the two Money in the Bank matches, but still decent matches nonetheless, or decent pay-per-view. I win this pay-per-view a 7.0, probably my highest rating in a while for pay-per-view. Only on the strength of the two Money in the Bank matches being awesome tonight. That's what, and the other card was great too, but like I said, weighing it high just because on the strength of the Money in the Bank matches were being so intense tonight. Now, let's begin with the pre-show. I missed the pre-show because I was on my way to my friend's house watching it for free tonight. I bet you a lot of people did that tonight. Didn't pay for it. I streamed it off the internet over a friend's house. So I missed the pregame because I was getting snacks and everything. Getting to my friend's house. Missed the Usos taking on the Shield, well, Rollins and Reigns, for their tag team championships. And of course, from what I read, Usos did well. But of course, Usos, despite having a good opportunity, probably had an advantage. But like every other Shield match, Shield finds a way to get the win. And let me guess, I didn't see the match, but let me guess. I bet you Reigns got the win with the spear. And then like probably Rollins did like a neat thing. Yeah, Spear got the victory. And the Shield retained the tag team championship. Great momentum for a first match. And I knew they were going to begin with a Money in the Bank match. And it was the World Heavyweight Championship Money in the Bank. With the momentum by the Rollins and Reigns win, would it help Dean Ambrose in his Money in the Bank match against Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, Antonio Cesaro, Jack Swagger, Fandango, and Wade Barrett. Now, this match, Money in the Bank match, every Money in the Bank match is full of great spots. And boy, there's a lot of great spots. In my mind, one of my favorite things that Fandango ever done. I think Fandango did an excellent move. I think it did like a powerbomb or something off the top of the ladder. There was some epic spots in this match. It was just very intense matchup. You know, the alliances came in. You know, there was two teams going into the match. You know, Cesaro and Swagger. And at the time, maybe we'll see how the friendship is after this match, which I'll get to. Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes. Like I said, the two partnerships, you know, they were very like those partnerships were very clicky, you know, double teaming. And there was some, like I said, there's a lot. I think Wade Barrett did like a ball hammer. I also like the spot when I think everyone was doing all their finishers. Like all the finishers were done on the wall. Like, I think Cody Rhodes did the crossroads. He was crossroading people like crazy. Cody Rhodes looked like, I think Cody Rhodes looked the best tonight. And there was, like I said, a lot of epic spots in this matchup. And it's like a spot fest. And then, like I said, the most part, Cody Rhodes was crossboarding people. Then like everyone was doing all the finishers. Like Wade Barrett did the Wasteland. There was like finishers galore. And it was always times when there was one man going up and trying to clap grief clips when everyone's down. And like I said, the one spot I liked the most was, like I said, the best, in my mind, the best move Fandango's ever done was that somersault powerball off the top of the ladder. That was an epic spot. Like I said, probably the best thing Fandango's ever done. And then like Fandango's probably out of the match after that. And Cody bled a lot. There was for being a TV PG pay-per-view, there was a lot of blood tonight, actually. There's some great blood hits tonight. Cody was bleeding a lot. during this match. He got a lot of punishment. You know, I think the guy, the punching bag of the match, probably in this match was, I think, Ambrose, because, you know, the Shield. And Ambrose did try to come in and get the victory. And the Shield came in to help Ambrose get the victory by attacking everybody in the match. You know, I think like Ambrose was trying to win. And then Cody came in. Like I said, that's when all the finishes came. And then that's when Cody was going for the briefcase. And that's when the Shield came in. Rollins and Reigns came in to help Ambrose. But then the Usos came in, beating up Rollins and Reigns. And then he dragged him outside the ring into Solo. And Swagger got involved helping the Usos in the fight against the other Shield members. Then Cody came up the top rope for a big move. He flew on top of everybody like a big splash move up the top of the ladder. So that was like another killer spot. And Cody looked very good in this matchup. And I know I read a lot of people on Facebook saying Cody should win because Cody deserves a big push. You know, I think I do agree with that. Cody does need a push. Well, he did get a push, but not the push he wanted. He got pushed off the ladder. As Cody was once again, after that big spot, Cody was all alone in the ring. Everybody was out. You know, because, you know, Cody took everybody out. But only one guy, his so-called best friend, who, like I said, gave Cody the push he didn't want. A push off the ladder. As Cody was going for the briefcase again, he got knocked out by his so-called best friend, Damien Sandow. Basically, Sandow, and I was with my friends. And one of my friends predicted this. And he was right on the money. My friend Andy, he's like, I'm predicting that because when Cody was climbing, Sandow was still down on the ground like everybody else was. And my friend Andy, he said, I'm predicting right now that Sandow's going to come back in the match and screw Cody Rhodes and be Money in the Bank winner. And that's what happened. Sandow screwed Cody Rhodes tonight. Sandow won the Money in the Bank briefcase tonight. Now, I picked Ambrose to win. I did not think that Sandow was going to win. I know a lot of people be pissed that he screwed Cody Rhodes. And like I said in the beginning, a lot of friendships and partnerships may be ending tonight because of shit that happened tonight. And in my mind, Rhodes Scholars is officially over. Because it's business over friendship. That's what happens in this business. You can trust few people. Because you know, when an opportunity comes like this to become world champion, a guaranteed shot, friendship is out the window. And that's what happened to Sandow tonight. Sandow put aside his friendship with Cody Rhodes to become Money in the Bank winner tonight. And I did not think, because Sandow, out of everybody, Sandow hasn't, like everybody in the match, has been a former champion. Cody's a former IC champion, a former tag champion. Dean Ambrose is the current IC champ, US champion. Wade Barrett's a former US champion, IC champion. Swagger's a former world champion. Just also former US champion. And Cody's a former champion, a former IC champion. Like, everybody was a former champion in this. Sandow's never won a singles title yet in WWE. And yeah, he's going to be taunted for the World Championship. That's kind of weird. But still, Sandow won it in this great Money Bank match. I'll give this Money Bank match a 4.0 out of 5. Like I said, there's a lot of epic spots, especially that Fandango spot. You know, there's so many spots I could name here. Like, so many spots, you know. I think there's a great DDT off the top of a ladder or something. There's some great, like I said, a lot of great spots. That's what Money Bank matches are all about. Spot fest city limits. So, there you go. Great Money Bank match, 4.0. Damien Sandow wins in the World Heavyweight Championship, Money in the Bank. Now, before our next match, we had a little segment involving the newly named Raw GM, Mr. Brad Maddox. And Vicky, despite being fired from her job as Raw supervising manager, she was a panelist on the pregame, and Brad Maddox kind of embarrassed her by showing a video of Vicky's most entertaining, embarrassing moments of her getting pied and shit. So, although Brad Maddox showed appreciation for Vicky, he kind of made fun of her at the same time. So, there you go. Brad Maddox is an idiot. And everybody knows it. We'll see how Brad Maddox does on his first full night as Raw GM tomorrow night on Raw. Till then, it's on to our next match, which was for the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz getting his one-on-one match against Curtis Axel with, of course, Walrus at ringside, but not for long. And I like Miz's plan. I like Miz's plan because Miz knew that Heyman is a big influence at ringside, especially since this is Philadelphia. ECW country. Pure Heyman fans are going to be all over Heyman and all over, cheering all over for AXEL. And this Philly crowd was pretty good. This Philly crowd was awesome tonight. Philly crowd was great. That's all I gotta say. So Miz came up with a cunning plan to get rid of Heyman because he knew Heyman was going to be a big factor in maybe involving the outcome of the match. So Miz began the match, on top of AXEL. Like they had some collabo tie-ups, and then Miz came in flying hard in the beginning, and then Heyman got involved, got distracted, and AXEL kept the referee busy as Miz was confronting Heyman, and then Miz made a smacking sound, and feint that Paul Heyman slapped him. And this is part of Miz's plan to eliminate Heyman on the match. So, Miz faked getting slapped by Paul Heyman. He was he did a smack effect. I missed the smack effect. And I saw Miz down. I was like, what happened? And I was like, oh, I know what he's doing. He's setting Paul Heyman up. He's faking it so he can get Paul Heyman thrown out of the match. Which is exactly what happened. So, Miz's plan, he thought it was a good plan. That he faked, that he pretended that Paul Heyman hit him so he can get him kicked out. And despite Paul Heyman getting kicked out, that still would have not have, despite Miz trying to get rid of the man who would affect the outcome may not have mattered if Heyman was there or not. And Miz did capitalize on that distraction with some great moves, doing his vintage moves, a big splash off the big splash in the middle, even doing the figure four a few times, including one point that Miz did have the figure four on Curtis Axel, would have been very much synchronicity that AXEL pinned Barrett, while Miz had to figure four on Barrett at Payback to get the IC Championship. Would it have been synchronicity to have Miz win the IC Championship back by making AXEL tap out to the figure four, and AXEL did reverse it, and then Miz reversed it again. So, and then AXEL got to the ropes and broke up the hold, and AXEL. I think he's gotten better as a wrestler. He's gotten better with his character, and he did do the perfect flex. He did the most wrestling moves I've seen him do. I'm glad AXEL didn't get a victory without any cheap interference. I'm glad Heyman got out because it would have affected the ending. And like I said, despite Heyman being out, AXEL still got the victory by delivering a neckbreaker and the victory, like a little face breaker, I call it, in a 1-2-3 victory for Curtis Axel retaining the Intercontinental Championship, even without the help of Paul Heyman. Miz did pretty well in the matchup, but AXEL got the victory. It was a decent matchup. I'll give this match a 2.5 out of 5. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the undercard matches didn't live up to the hype of the Money in the Bank matches, but still decent at that. Now on to our next contest after the AXEL victory. It was AJ defending the Divas Championship against KAITLYN. Of course, AJ and Big E had a side. Now the little Ziggy. And we'll see if Ziggy will stay with AJ after what happened tonight. And of course, Layla accompanied KAITLYN. Of course, we've seen KAITLyn on an anger rampage ever since losing the Divas Championship to AJ, and AJ making fun of her. And KAITLYN's had a wild, vicious side. You saw that on Monday during the tag match. That AJ got speared to hell by KAITLYN. You saw it again on SmackDown. So KAITLyn came in with, of course, emotion and revenge on her mind, wanting revenge on everything that AJ's done, doing the embarrassment, making fun of her, the admirer thing. So a lot of emotions running for KAITLyn, heading towards this matchup. And KAITLyn was kind of injured on SmackDown with an elbow injury. That elbow injury, unfortunately, became a downfall, despite, of course, KAITLyn coming in with big aggression. It was another typical Divas match. But this feud is probably the most intense thing in the Divas division. Because this feud is feud on emotion. It's feud on friendship. It's feud on betrayal. And despite being another typical Divas match, it was actually pretty decent for being a Divas match. Very intense, very physical. Like the match at Payback. The match at Payback was actually not that bad. But still, it's a Divas match. So, I thought Big E would be as much of an influence. Although he did call it AJ when KAITLyn was going for a big move, and AJ fell into Big E. And, AJ came back strong after KAITLyn had the early feud on emotion and adrenaline. And KAITLYN did end up nailing the spear at one point during the match, but unfortunately, AJ was focusing on the elbow, weakening the elbow that AJ injured on KAITLYN. And unfortunately, like I said, the injured elbow became KAITLYN's downfall because KAITLYN couldn't capitalize on pinning AJ after the spear because of the elbow. And unfortunately, after that spear, KAITLYN was done as KAITLYN's elbow was weakened further and put into the Black Widow by AJ. Despite everything by KAITLYN, KAITLYN had no other choice but to tap out, which means that AJ retained the Divas Championship. And my friends were cheering. Like I said, I was watching it at a house tonight with 3 of my friends. And my friends were like, KAITLYN, guys. I like KAITLYN too, but I knew AJ was going to find a way to win, and she did. My friends were upset because they think KAITLYN's hot. And yes, KAITLYN's hot. And AJ's crazy. And AJ proved it again tonight by winning the match. 2.0 out of 5, typical Divas match. But still pretty intense for being a Divas match. So there you go. AJ retains the Divas Championship. Now, on our next matchup, Chris Jericho against RYBACK. Go back. RYBACK. Go back. RYBACK. What do you want to call him? This match was decent as well. It was okay. RYBACK matches are typically sometimes squashes and sometimes. And Jericho did pretty well. Basically, I think Jericho carried much of the load. Because RYBACK can't do much besides power wrestle people and just beat people up. Jericho, RYBACK, carried the match. And Jericho did have the advantage. He did come in, with his, usual Jericho flair. We all love Jericho. He is the perfect showman. And he proves it every night. He can still put on great matches with anybody. He can even make a RYBACK match look good. Like I said, although he had to carry much of the load, Jericho made RYBACK look very good tonight. And that's Jericho's role now. He's not in it to be an ego like John Cena and take all the fucking championships and hog them up like Cena does. I'll get to that in a moment, but still, Jericho wants to push young talent. Although I think he did lose. He did win over somebody last week. So, but Jericho I think he did do the Walls of Jericho and RYBACK. I don't remember if he did do the Walls of Jericho or not. So, Jericho was going for the leg most of the point because, RYBACK injured his leg. As we all know, RYBACK became RYBACK because RYBACK left during the match. And he called the match off. So, like I said, Jericho had a target on that leg. But despite that leg, RYBACK, of course, being typical RYBACK, RYBACK rules. Jericho got beat up by RYBACK for most of the matchup, getting nailed in the announce table. I thought the Spanish announce table was going to be broken a few times, but, the table didn't break. And, RYBACK, Jericho did always, I think Jericho did do a cold breaker, but I don't remember he did or not. But I know he did Walls of Jericho. Yes, he did. I was talking to my friends during this match, so I don't remember much of this matchup, but still, from what I saw, it was a decent matchup. It was just okay with RYBACK getting the victory with the shell shock on Chris Jericho. RYBACK finally ending his losing streak. RYBACK's been losing a lot. Ever since losing to CENA, he's been losing a lot of matches, whether it's called off or not. RYBACK finally broke his losing streak, and indeed, won the match with the... Actually, he didn't do the... I thought he did a shell shock. But he did do the shell shock, but he didn't pin him right away. But, Jericho was going for lion salt. That's the ending. Jericho was going for lion salt, and then RYBACK rolled out of it, and Jericho landed on his feet. And as Jericho's back on his feet again after the attempted lion salt, he got rolled up by RYBACK. 1, 2, 3. So RYBACK got the victory there. Another 2.0 for me from that match. Now on with the next matchup, which is for the World Heavyweight Championship. It was Dolph Ziggler fighting in his rematch against Alberto Del Rio. Once again, Okada's out because of his suspension / storyline injury. Now, if you saw my payback review, I felt in my mind that Dolph Ziggler got screwed out of the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, he kind of got screwed yet again tonight in a different way. But the crowd in Philly was definitely pro Ziggler. Especially the World War Ziggler sign. I like that sign. World War Z. World War Ziggler. I like that sign. That was a cool sign. And indeed, the energy of the Philly fans being pro Ziggler basically fed adrenaline to Ziggler. And this is pretty good. I think this is better than their match at Payback. For one thing, Ziggler's fucking healthy. He's not concussed anymore. But despite somewhat recovering from that concussion, Ziggler did have a target still with that concussion, as Del Rio did indeed kick the hell out of the neck again, but not as viciously like he did during the screw job that was the payback screw job. But we can call this mind bank screw job too. It was 1 year ago this year at this pay-per-view that Ziggler won the mind bank match to become world champion, cashing in on Del Rio, as we know, after WrestleMania. And how apropos it is to see what happened at this year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view with Ziggler being in the World Heavyweight Championship match. And, Ziggler looked very good in his matchup. Like Ziggler did all his usual moves. He did zigzag. He even did a famous, Billy Gunn's move. Another blood who likes to show his ass off. That's what I felt like. My friends thought everyone pulls on Ziggler's tights and show his ass a lot. That's what happened with Rick Rude. And Rick Rude was wearing pants. When Rick Rude always had that one spot when people were pulling his tights down to expose his ass. Like the Ultimate Warrior, who I'm hearing is rumored in WWE 14. That's the rumor I'm hearing, Ultimate Warrior in WWE 14. So anyway, Del Rio, came back after the early fury from Ziggler. Of course, his insecurity kicks, once again, headed towards the head, even getting on the cross-arm breaker about a few times. But Ziggler kept fighting back. That was, as Ziggler was finally getting back in the game and felt really close to recapturing World Heavyweight Championship. Here comes AJ tiptoeing her crazy way to ringside. Of course, we don't know if Ziggler and AJ officially broke up, or they might be broken up after what happened at the end of this matchup. Ziggler trying to get AJ. I thought when AJ first locked eyes on Ziggler, when Ziggler first locked eyes on AJ, I thought AJ was going to screw him then. AJ was going to distract Dolph, and the Dolph was going to walk into a cross-arm breaker and lose the match. Well, that wasn't what happened. But still, as we would see, AJ would kind of, inadvertently or not, kind of screw Ziggler out of this match. As Del Rio tried to capitalize on the distraction of AJ, but Del Rio did try to capitalize, but Ziggler came back, going for a big move. And then, Ziggler came back in. Then Alberto delivered a big suplex on him. Then going for the cross. He was going for the cross-arm breaker, but Dolph Ziggler was going for a clothesline. And then Alberto was going for a big kick again, and he had the knee down. He put his knee pad down. He was going for another big kick, nailing him with the brace. But as he was going to kick Dolph blocked the kick. And this is when the screw job happens. As Dolph was blocking the kick from Del Rio, AJ came in with her Divas Championship and nailed Del Rio with her Divas belt. Unfortunately, the referee saw it. So that means, inadvertently, purposefully or not, AJ basically screwed Dolph Ziggler out of regaining the championship. So that means Del Rio wins by disqualification. That was kind of a screwy ending there with AJ inadvertently or not screwing Ziggler. Like I said in the beginning of this video once again, that friendships and relationships may have been broken up tonight. We saw the possible breakup of World Scholars after Damien Sandow basically screwed Goldie Rhodes, putting aside friendship for the pursuit of gold. And as we saw tonight, the pursuit of gold may have been the breakup for Dolph Ziggler and AJ, as AJ screwed Dolph Ziggler inadvertently, but could have been purposefully. AJ looked shocked that she screwed Dolph Ziggler, but was she lying to him? Did she do it on purpose? Is AJ and Ziggy done? It could be done. Especially, Dolph Ziggler is probably upset that AJ screwed him out of his opportunity to regain the championship. And I hope Ziggler gets another rematch at SummerSlam. This time, no DQ. No DQ, no count out, no holds barred. It needs to be settled. This feud needs to be settled. And Ziggler needs to recapture, in my mind, the World Heavyweight Championship. Because I felt the payback match, he got screwed. Because of the way he lost it. By just getting punished by Del Rio. I'll give this match, I've been debating the score, I'll give it a 3.0 just because it was, I'll give it a 3.0. Because it was a very exciting match. It was kind of back and forth matchup. Both guys were switching control. It was a pretty good matchup. But the ending kind of took away a few points. Because AJ, the ending was kind of a screwy ending. So there you go with a little interval help from AJ. Del Rio retains the world title by DQ. And now he's going to keep his eyes peeled for the new Money Bank winner, Mr. Damien Sandow. Now on with the next matchup, which was for the WWE Championship. John Cena against Mark Henry. Now I thought this was going to be the main event. But I think they purposely set the WWE Championship match second to last instead of last to purposely not have the Money in the Bank winner cash in on the WWE Champion. That might have happened. If the WWE Championship was last and Money in the Bank was the co-main event, you could have seen the Money in the Bank winner of the WWE Championship cash it in on the winner of the WWE Championship match. But like I said, they kind of purposely put the WWE Championship match before the MITB to purposely avoid a cash-in. So, and basically the fans pro Henry in this one. You know, sexual chocolate chants and Mark Henry. Unfortunately, it was another typical dun, 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 Super Cena match. You know what that means? Mark Henry beat up John Cena for like 15 minutes. You know, 15, 20 minutes of Mark Henry dominating over Cena. And of course, Super Cena going flying back. But Mark Henry did beat up Cena some more. And Cena did get the F you Mark Henry tonight. You know, I think he did it like one. He had like one attempt, but he failed. Once again, he purposely let Mark Henry's weight on him. And he did get the F you him. But Mark Henry would not quit because Mark Henry was going to go home with the championship. And it felt like it. Mark Henry's really dominating this matchup. Like I said, Super Cena match, but still, Mark Henry looked very good in this matchup. Just destroying Cena like he deserves it. An egomaniacal maniac who's hogging all the titles for himself. Doesn't want anybody else to have any other championship. So Henry looked very good in this matchup. Dominating over Cena with his all big power moves. Nailing the world's longest slam. And it was there's another good, decent back and forth matchup. It was actually pretty exciting for being a Super Cena match. It was actually not that bad of a matchup. And being a Mark Henry match as well. You know, being a Mark Henry match and a Super Cena match, it actually wasn't that bad, especially after following the screw job that was Del Rio and Ziggler getting screwed, like I said, by AJ. So as Mark Henry looked very good, really destroying Cena, and really looking like he was going to win the championship. Of course, like I said, Super Cena get the FU once or twice. I think twice. And he did get the nail. He did the STFU many times. Until finally, Mark Henry tapped out of the STFU to not just my dismay, but the crowd's dismay. So there you go. John Cena, like it or not, retains the WWE Championship over Mark Henry in a decent WWE Championship match. It was, like I said, pretty decent for being a typical Cena match. It was actually not that bad, but still, it's a Cena match. 2.5 for that match. Being Ziggler and Del Rio was better despite the screw job finish. So there you go. John Cena retains the WWE Championship. Now, speaking of WWE Championship, on with our main event, the WWE All-Stars Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE Championship briefcase. It was returning Rob Van Dam, CM Punk, Sheamus, Christian, Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan. No replacement for Kane. I was very surprised that they did not replace Kane in the match. So basically, it was a 6-man Money in the Bank. It wasn't there. Like I said, there wasn't a replacement for Kane. I heard many rumors about Bray Wyatt being involved because he was the one that took Kane out in the attack on Wall. So I was very surprised they let it be a 6-man Money in the Bank. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I can't name what one was better when it comes to high-flying spots. The World Heavyweight Championship was just spot fest. But when it comes to just telling a good story and just being intense and having a lot of screw jobs and more friendships going out the window, it was this one. This All-Star Money in the Bank was pretty good. RVD, there was a lot of, the crowd was mostly cheering for RVD, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk. Those are the 3 guys that were the ones that were cheered. I picked Daniel Bryan and Punk to win the matchup. And the beginning of the match was actually a good beginning. Like everybody was eliminated one-on-one, one by one. Like everybody, like all 6 guys were in the corners, you know, eyeing each other, and the 5 guys all attacked Rob Van Dam instantly, and then like the other 4 guys, like it was like a process of elimination. Like everyone was RVD, then everyone went after Sheamus, and then like it came down to D-By and Orton in the ring, and there was like many opportunities. Like there was a lot of, like every guy had an opportunity to get the ladder and get the match warm if like no one was left in the ring. You know, like everybody, like Orton and Sheamus. Like, there was a few guys that in RVD had a great chance to get the Money in the Bank briefcase with everybody laid out from some great spots in this matchup as well. There was so many great moves, like Orton RKOing off the top rope, which basically sealed the ending. And I think there was another great move of Sheamus being slammed off the top of the ladder through the slam on top of the ladder to another ladder hung in between the outside of the ring and the announce table. That was another killer spot as well. And there was so much intensity in this matchup. And I was a Daniel Bryan guy. All my friends were not. You know, all my friends I was watching with was like, all my friends were cheering on Randy Orton and Punk and RVD. And every guy had a highlight. Every guy looked good. RVD looked very good. In his comeback match, he looked very good. And he took a long time. He did when he first got attacked, he was trying to do the thumb. You know, the wah, Van Dam, and they attacked him when he was doing wah. They all went for him. But obviously, he did do the thumb. He did basically every move. I think he did the Van Daminator. He did like the monkey flip. He did the rolling thunder, and of course, the 5-star frog splash on top of the ladder. He did bend his knees. But still, RVD did all of his classic moves. And he looked very good in this matchup. For being his first match back in WWE, in probably his first match he's wrestled in months, unless he wrestled in Indies when he left TNA. He looked, like I said, pretty dang good in this match. And like everybody had a chance to win. Like every guy had the opportunity. Like Sheamus had a chance to win it. The Living White Noise, you know, off the top of a ladder. That was another decent move. That's like I said, a lot of great spots in this matchup. You know, the ladder was used as a weapon in both matches. I even heard "We Want Tables." I think it was doing this one. I don't remember which one. I did hear like during one of the Money Back matches, it was "We Want Tables." And like I said, there were some great spots. And then like my pick, my first #1 pick, Daniel Bryan, he was like, but I think the guy who got beat up the most in his matchup, I think Sheamus took the most punishment. And that's what my friends contested that Sheamus got beat up the most in his matchup. Like Sheamus was targeted the most, but I think D-By got as much punishment too. Same with Punk, and I think RVD got punished a lot too. And everybody had a great opportunity. I think I really felt that D-By was going to win it. Like when D-By came in midway towards the match and dominated the matchup, and like he did all the big moves on everybody. And that's when he threw Sheamus. That's when he threw Sheamus outside the ring onto that big ladder. Another, like I said, one of the best spots in the matchup. Like D-By did a flying goat move, and Bryan took everybody out, and it looked like Bryan had a great chance to win it. That was until a guy came in with a steel chair. I thought it was Orton that nailed Daniel Bryan, but it was Curtis Axel. I thought at first that, oh my God, this is Kane's replacement. Axel's a last-minute surprise replacement for Kane, but it wasn't. Axel basically, continuing the whole Heyman Punk storyline. Axel apparently tried to help Punk. That's what it seemed. That Axel took out Daniel Bryan, nailed him with a steel chair, took him out, and Punk was out of the match at that point as well. And it looked like Punk was going to be helped by Curtis Axel, despite Punk not wanting any help from Heyman, not wanting to be associated with Heyman on a business thing, but they're still friends. You know, he doesn't want Heyman to manage him. And then Heyman came out, kind of pissed at Axel, because Axel got GTS by Punk after that, because Punk was not appreciative of Axel's attempt to help. But as Heyman was trying to, like, he was bitching at Axel for, like, trying to help Punk out, like, what are you doing, blah, 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 blah. Punk being tired out, he did climb the ladder, and it looked like Punk was going to capitalize inadvertently on Heyman's attempt to help him. But as Punk was climbing the ladder, the Ultimate Screwjob came in. Like said, a lot of friendships were broken tonight. In relationships, might have been broken up tonight. Daniel Bryan, Damien Sandow and Cody Rhodes may be broken up. You know, Ziggy and Ziggy might be broken up. Another business relationship, which might be broken up tonight. Paul Heyman and Punk. I thought, to set up SummerSlam, I thought Brock Lesnar was going to come in and screw Punk. But it was Paul Heyman that screwed Punk. As Punk was climbing up the ladder, his so-called best friend. Like what happened with Sandow and Cody. Screwed Punk. Heyman nailed Punk with another ladder, nailed him in the back. And then I said earlier in the World Heavyweight Championship Money Bank, Cody Rhodes bled a little bit, but Punk bled a lot. A vicious face shot off the ladder, like Punk got nailed in the face by Paul Heyman with the ladder, and Punk bled really bad. Like his face was all crimson red. They wiped it off, being typical WWE TVPG, wiping off blood with a towel. But if you saw Punk before he got wiped off, man, that cut on his head, he looked pretty vicious. That was probably the most vicious blood I've seen in WWE TVPG in a long time. That was a vicious hit. With Punk taken out now by Paul Heyman, it gave Orton and RVD left to duke it out. And that's when Orton did the RKO off the top of the ladder, and Orton won the match. Orton won the Raw Money in the Bank. I know Orton hasn't been champion in a while, and I know everyone has a point about Orton. He hasn't been champion in about a couple years, but come on. Someone else needs to be champion besides Orton and CENA all the time. You know, I wanted Punk to win too, but Punk was my number 2 pick because Punk had a championship for so long. He needs a break from being champion for a while. You know, I know Punk will be champ again, but not too soon as he came back. You know, he's only been back for a month after being off for 2 months after losing a Take Red Mania. But I think D-Bar should have won. But Orton won the match. So that means CENA and we better watch out for Orton and Damien Sandow, both the holders of the Money Bank match briefcases. I'll give this match a 4.5 because it was more intense than I love World Heavyweight Championship too. Like I said, I love both Money Banks, but I think the WWE Championship was pretty much intense. Yes, it lacked most of the high flying spots of the World Heavyweight Championship when it comes to intensity and when it comes to the drama, especially the screw job of Heyman and Punk. The WWE Championship one left it up. And my prediction on who I think is going to cash in first, I think Sandow's going to be the one to cash in first because Orton is a so-called apex predator. Orton finds his spots. You know, Orton waits for the perfect spot to sink in the kill, which is what he did tonight. He waited for the perfect opportunity to take out RVD with the RK off the top of the ladder when no one else was there to distract him besides RVD, which he took out. So there you go. Orton gets a victory. Damien Sandow gets a victory. Basically, everybody retains. So I just can't believe all my guys were lost tonight. You know, all my picks. You know, Ziggler lost, Ambrose lost, but I think Ambrose would be champion. I know a lot of people were picking Cody Rhodes, and I think Cody Rhodes could have won and should have won, but he got screwed by Sandow. I'm surprised Sandow even won. I'm surprised by these picks. You know, I'm always surprised on who wins Money in the Bank because I don't think these guys deserve it, in my opinion. But we'll see. But that's what happens when you first win the Money in the Bank. You don't deserve it, but as you hold on to it and wait for the perfect time to sink it in, that's when it's like, wow, it really comes in to be a good thing. And I hope you don't take as long as Ziggler did. Like, Ziggler took a long time to cash it in. He waited about 8 months to cash it in. So, we'll see who cashes in first. I think Sandow will cash it in before Orton does. So, there you go. That's my Money in the Bank review, 7.0, on the strength of the 2 great Money in the Bank matches. That's it for my review. I'll see you all later. With that in mind, you've been attacked by a review from Zach. Thank you all so very much for watching. See you all later, like I said. Yeah.